laps remaining. 3 of the top 4 are championship hopefuls. Gregson on the outside, Enfinger inside, Green, 3 to go at ISM.
Looks like Gregson spun his tires a little bit. How about Moffitt on the inside? Look how good he is.
Brett Moffitt to the inside. It's 3 wide. Who's going to come out with the lead? Side by side, Gregson and Enfinger with Moffitt inside. It's Moffitt. Brett Moffitt has gone to the front. Noah Gregson peeking inside. Enfinger is there. Coming around. There will be 2 to go for Brett Moffitt.
If Moffitt can win this race, then Gregson will go in as well to Homestead.
Moffitt starting to gap Gregson a little bit. Enfinger starting to drop back. Brett Moffitt trying to hold on, hoping that it stays green the rest of the way. Stuart Friesen below the line, trying to gain ground. Almost a half-second lead for Brett Moffitt now. Moffitt through 3 and coming to 4. Brett Moffitt takes the white flag. 1 lap remaining in the desert. Brett Moffitt is a 4-time winner this season, trying to punch his ticket to Homestead, Miami as a championship contender. A half a lap to go. Gregson's still on his tail. It's the final lap, and Brett Moffitt is coming through turn 3. The checkers will wave for Brett Moffitt. He's going to win at ISM Raceway.
Phoenix, buddy. Nice work, boys. Nice work, boys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody that came out today. Way to do it, guys. That's execution.
That's the way you punch your ticket. The knockout punch. Brett Moffitt with the phenomenal restart, going from the 2nd row to the lead and winning the race.
That's not the only time this year we've seen him do that on a restart.
What a flair. What a flair he has for drama, doesn't he? Just pounces at the end of the race and grabs the victory.
Noah Gregson, as the runner-up in this race, will also advance to the championship 4 at Homestead Miami Speedway next week. Maybe not the way Gregson wanted to get there. He wanted to win this race, but you know they're taking a big sigh of relief in that 18th hit.
Well, Vince, Gregson had Grant Enfinger laying all over him. There was no way they could have momentum exiting the corner, and Brett Moffitt was down off the road, took advantage of that contact, and drove away.
Burn him down, Brett Moffitt, a 5-time winner this season, and he will run for the championship.
Spend all night trying not to spin your tires to win the race so you can spin your tires. Burn those babies off.
What a year it's been for Brett Moffitt and this Shiggy Hattori team.
He'd never made a start in the Truck Series here at ISM. He'd had a couple of Cup Series starts here, but this was his first one in the truck. And he and crew chief Scott Zipadelli, they have gotten it done all season long, and they delivered again tonight.
What a beautiful night of racing.
What a great way to christen this new ISM Raceway. And I call it new because so much has been done to this racetrack, this facility.
And what made the difference? A late restart on the newly reconfigured start-finish line.
The fireworks symbolic of the celebration for Brett Moffitt and really Noah Gregson as well, because Gregson's going to have a chance to run for the championship. But for Brett Moffitt, not only getting the win tonight to secure his position, but what it does for that team from a momentum standpoint as they head to the final race of the season. Grant Enfinger had his shot, but came up a little short tonight, Alan.
Yes, he did. It came down to those final 2 restarts. What more did you need on those final 2 restarts to get the victory?
You know, I just don't know if we had the speed to get it done tonight. We actually had a really good Ford F-150. That's just all we had. Man, a really good friend of mine, Chief, he's in a bad situation right now. I really wanted to bring that win home for him and all these guys that worked so hard all year. just wasn't meant to be. But just really, I'm proud of this year. We're not running for a championship next week, but it wasn't from lack of effort. You know, these guys have come a long ways, and proud of everything.
Heck of a show tonight.
You know, he did his job on the restart there, Vince. He got a better launch and was in a position to be ahead of Gregson. But when we got down to turn 3, Brett Moffitt just had such a run. And those two trucks, the 98 and the 18, started rubbing on each other. And it just opened the door for Moffitt.
Not every truck can be the best truck. And as Enfinger said, it felt like it. Best truck of the night. At times it seemed like he did. He had that nice run. He led 20 laps tonight, but he got it done on the restart when he had to, and it was a great battle with Noah Gragson, Alan.
And down here is just giving a handshake to Grant Enfinger. There was tough racing down the stretch. I know you wanted the win, but you advanced to Homestead. How do you take this night?
Yeah, first of all, this is more about my Safe Flight Auto Glass team. Safe Flight Auto Glass making it to the Final Four for the first time ever. And Kyle Busch Motorsports, my guys, they work so hard. Rudy Fugel, the rest of the team. Can't thank all those guys enough. Safe Flight Auto Glass, Switch, Toyota, everybody who's helped me out. Down there in that restart, I spun the tires just a little bit in the restart zone, and then in 1 and 2, just got run up the racetrack. I guess I was top of 3 wide, and we were beating and banging. I don't know. That's what you got to do. I dish it, so I sure as hell got to take it, you know. So I don't know. I respect the 98 for what he did. He's going for the win. I'm going for the win, but most importantly, we're going to be racing for a championship next weekend in Homestead. So just can't thank all the veterans for everything they do for us. Happy Veterans Day to everybody out there, and moving on to next weekend. Let's go do this.
Looking for a title, 18, Noah Gragson.
Indeed. Hey, I want to remind you that coming up as soon as we're done here in Phoenix, NHRA Friday Nitro live from Pomona. It is next. But right now, Brett Moffitt in Gatorade Victory Lane, and Hermie Sadler is there.
Here he is, Victory Lane. Took him a few minutes to find this beautiful new Victory Lane at this racetrack. But he is here. And a happy group. Brett, I talked to your crew chief, Scott Zipadelli, on the next to last caution with everything that was going on. I said, what's going to happen here? And he said, we need to win and like this thing to Homestead. And you pulled it off. It came down to a pass after the last restart. How did you put yourself in position to make that move?
We just had a badass Kobe Toyo Pet Tundra, and I kind of screwed us by getting a speeding penalty there. But more importantly, it's Veterans Day weekend, and I gotta give a shout out to all those who have served and currently serving. Also, very special to us, we have a steering wheel here. It's got Tori Costa Foundation on it, and that's Scott Zipadelli's daughter that passed away from patriotic cancer. And sorry, and it was her birthday yesterday, so I'm glad she was in the car with me, and I know this is going to mean a lot to our race team.
So now you got to refocus. Good shot of the steering wheel there, great calls. Now you've got to refocus you and your team to get ready to go to Homestead and race for a championship. If you had just a moment to think about how close you could be to a championship.
Yeah, we were focused on Homestead already, and we just knew we had to have a smooth night. When the 98 got up there, obviously, we started worrying, and that's when we needed to win. So, you know, you can't say enough for this group. And Toyota TRD, Joe Gibbs' 299th engine win with Mark Conquest. They've put our backs against the wall, but this son of a bitch won again. So I can't say enough about them and all of our partners and just this whole HRE team.
It's going to be a GMS versus Toyota battle when we get to Homestead next week, Alan.
Matt Crafton needed the victory tonight, finished 11th. Where do you feel you came up short this weekend?
We had very good speed. I mean, drove through a few of them at the very beginning, and then took 2 tires and drove to second, and I mean ran the leader down and came up pit road to put 4 tires on, and we went to put 4 tires on. Just couldn't get the right front off and lost, I don't know, 7-8 spots, and it buried us. And then none of the lanes would seem to go our way at the end of the night. But all in all, we'll go for a race for a win here at Homestead. This on our Ford F-150 wasn't bad, nothing to hang our head on too bad, but it's been one of the worst racing seasons I've had and I can remember. But you know what? I've got one more. Go get a trophy here at Homestead and go vacation.
That'd be the way to end the season, with a smile, guys.
Well, and don't put it past him next week at Homestead, that's for sure. But here will be the 4 drivers competing